Some 40 years ago, 40 years ago, close to 50, I served a volunteer group among friends with special needs in a community called L'Arche and the Faith and Light Movement. At that time, the people we served called themselves PH, short for physically handicapped, and we volunteers were called AB, short for able-bodied. I accepted that title easily. For example, when there's an activity, they say, oh, how many ABs, how many PH? So they were capable to provide service adequately. For years and years, I felt capable, needed, and successful. One moment changed everything. And I began to ask myself a hard question. Was I truly serving others? Or was I serving myself, feeding my sense of usefulness? I was helping a young man who used a wheelchair, and we were on a busy street, and I was pushing him skillfully, confidently, loudly, calling out, coming through, coming through. People split for us, and I felt efficient and everything in control. And afterwards, the young man said to me, laughing gently because he was my friend, he said, I felt like a piece of luggage, and I laughed with him, but inside of me, my heart sank very low. I suddenly felt ashamed. It happened so long ago, but it still rings in my ears. In today's gospel, John the Baptist sees Jesus and said and proclaimed, behold the Lamb of God. John was popular among thousands. People followed him because they thought that he was the Messiah. By worldly standard, he was really successful and worth celebrating. He wouldn't stop people from coming to him, yet he made one thing absolutely clear. I am not the Messiah. And then he gives us one of the most important lines in the gospel. Later in the Gospel of John, he said, he must increase, I must decrease. John's true success was not the great number of followers, but his pointing others to Jesus. What kind of success should we celebrate? It is said that the only real sadness, the only real failure, the only great tragedy in life is not to become a saint. And all saints point others to Jesus. Skillfully maneuvering a wheelchair, definitely not one. Have you heard the question? When we died, and God willing, see Jesus face to face, and he will ask us, did you bring anyone with you? We might think that it is enough for ourselves to be with Jesus in heaven, but isn't it selfish if we don't help others to find him? Parents, may I ask a hard question? Are we leading our children to Jesus or away from him? When we prioritize Mass, praying as a family, and talking about Jesus, we lead them to Jesus. When we make school grades first thing, playing sport games number one, on Sunday, and getting a job, number one, we are not leading them to Jesus. Many of us older parents have learned a difficult lesson. We did not prioritize Jesus. And so our children now do not know or love him. I myself am not a perfect parent, but I want to be more like John the Baptist. My goal is to lead my wife, my son, my daughter-in-law, my grandchildren, and many others to Jesus. And I need help in doing this. And we have many good people and good programs here that can help us. And I now would like to show you a video about our school.
I'm sure a lot of parents will understand choosing the right school for our children is not an easy decision. Yanis and I have spent many nights talking about what we really want for Kelsey. When it comes to elementary school, we want a little bit more.
St. Anthony has an excellent education program, which is the classical education model, especially focused on children's reading literacy and speech arts. In my opinion, I think reading is the key to unlock knowledge. Those are very crucial for them for the future academic success and how to become a global thinker. I would describe St. Anthony as a small school with a big heart, a heart that we share love, wisdom, and most importantly, faith. At St. Anthony, I'm very thankful that we have Jesus as our anchor, leading everyone to the same direction of faith and teaching us what's the truth, the goodness, and the beauty of life. And the school team incorporates the Catholic value into the curriculum to help our children not just learning academically, but also grow in spiritually.
When we arrived at the school, we have a very different feelings because number one, as we walk up the stairs to St. Anthony's, we are greeted by parents and they were saying hi. And once we enter the doorway, it gives it a very warm and welcoming sensation. And then now 3 years after I spend a lot more time with the school and different parents, I actually understand that every parent not only see their own children as student, it's more like the entire class is their children. For example, when Yanis does the volunteering, she always tells me stories when she returns home, like each student, what did they do, what is exciting, what is different. So I feel like it is a good environment for any children to grow, and it's also good for the parents because now we are involved in another community. So it's very easy for us to join and become a part of the school and the parish system.
The school has a very unique faith program called Parent Alpha, which is collaborate with the parish to provide opportunity for parents to learn the love God have for each one of us. It's very nice to grow in spiritually with your children together.
So our school definitely has a goal to bring people to Jesus. Have you heard about Daddy Alpha? We provide Daddy Alpha at school and its building. So please remember, a Catholic school cannot replace the parents. Sometimes some people would think that they can just drop their children off at the school and the teachers will do the work. But if the parents are not talking about Jesus at home, the school would not have any effect. This is why even many children who do not go to Catholic schools love Jesus because of their parents. It is never too late to become a parent who focuses on Jesus. And I know one mother whose children are all successful in the world, but turning away from Jesus. What was the solution? The mother moved closer to Jesus, and 25 years later, some of her children are coming back to him. So true success is when people meet us they meet Jesus. That is worth celebrating. Glory and praise be to God.